the songs and all the stuff.
Remember Dave?
I feel like we're gonna watch this because this guy, Chris Liepe, he's the one that taught me a lot about vocal fry and a bunch of other, and I always call it, like blues singing, but or distortion, the way that you can actually distort your voice. This guy is very interesting to watch. I don't know if anyone's watched him before or that watched my stuff, but he says some pretty off the wall things that are pretty cool. He teaches you how to sing in different styles and different genres, and he teaches you vocal techniques to like increase like your vocal capacity and like how to switch between your diaphragm, your chest singing, nostrils, like whatever. Like he knows all the technical terms. So let's see what he's got to say, man. He says this has gone on far enough, and what I'm doing about it. What's going on, Nikki? So let's see what Chris Liepe says right here.
Days gone by when you heard a great singer and you could be pretty positive you were listening to an actual singer. What about auto-tune and tools like them were being snuck in for the very first time to performances that were supposed to pass as organic or all done by the artist?
I don't even mind he's using auto-tunes, bro. Like, I love that song, bro. It's so gangster.
Or what about the T-Pain style auto-tune, where it's obviously a thing, and over time our ears have become accustomed to accepting that as a sound and listening to it and enjoying it?
I don't know if I like that vernacular, like the way he just used like the language there. We grew accustomed is not an evil exactly. I don't know if I would call it like we had grew accustomed to liking it. Like the first time I heard Sherry use it, I thought it was dope then and there. Like it's just a different thing that you can do. It may not be a natural thing with your voice, but it is a powerful thing that we can do. You know what I mean? Like it adds different textures to what we want. If like you're looking for more of a synth vibe that feels like in line with the 80s, autotune can deliver that. I don't know if that's the correct I don't know if I get,
How did you discover auto-tune?
Darkchild used it on a Jennifer Lopez remix.
Darkchild.
Yeah, producer Darkchild used it on a Jennifer Lopez remix, and I heard it for like 2 seconds. I was like, I gotta find out what that is, because I want to use it on a whole song.
Only if it's done right. It can be too much. And no, yeah, I understand. And also, especially because we always thought like, well, a performer's live, they could never use auto-tunes. It's like, well, that's not true either, But if it just makes it sound better, like it just gives more accessibility to like other people. Like the whole like AI argument or all that stuff. Look, I understand why artists and people with actual talent don't like the landscape to be overfilled, and I understand that wholeheartedly. But if AI can help people for free, like, cause like I use AI all the time for the artwork for Illa. An artist hit me up, hey man, you want me to give me some money? And I'm like, no, cause I'm poor as fuck, but I don't want that to stop my dream of coming alive. So like, no, I'm sorry, I can't afford your services. So I found alternative media or alternative means to like accomplish that. Now, does it suck that artists are losing some form of revenue? Yes, but I wouldn't have paid them anyway. I just wouldn't have done it, because like I don't have money to offer you. Like I'm poor as fuck. I'm unemployed. You know what I mean? Like my paycheck for 3 months of work was $400. You know what I mean? And one of those donations I received was like $100 from somebody once. You know what I like? Nah, dude. Sometimes having access to the market to put your ideas out there are interesting, and more so, the more and more things that are perfect, the more we're going to enjoy. Kind of like grunge. Grunge music was all about the celebration of stepping outside of the clean and pristine versions of like rock and roll that hair metal spawned. Well, they think that autotune also has no skill required because an engineer probably manufactured the voice versus like their natural talent. But like if you're really bad at singing, like I am, it doesn't sound good with autotune. I've tried using autotune. I have songs with autotune in it. I can't hold a note to save my fucking life, bro. And autotune ain't fixing that. Also, the natural sound of my voice just doesn't, but let's see what he's got to say.
Or how about the other day when that AI band got 500,000 streams by who knows who or what?
Some friends of mine sent me this band,
video.
the Velvet Sundown. And
so Velvet Sundown is supposedly an entirely AI band. And I'm not gonna lie, it didn't sound bad, which is crazy. Like a lot of people, autotune does not create talent. Exactly. I don't know if I'm even against AI music. I mean, it's not going to be like my favorite. But can AI learn to like mirror or fix a lack of talent? Exactly, dude. The idea of AI music is weird because like we never thought that they could tap into the creative elements. But like I listened to 2 Velvet Sundown songs and they weren't bad. They just also weren't good, They lacked the raw human emotion that I was looking for, like what I look for in music. There's a reason why I like Ren over Chinchilla, because Ren is talking about stuff that is deep and immediately effective. Chinchilla is too, but she's doing it through the lens of a mask. And it just makes one a little more, a little more authentic, and the other one a little more performative. Not to say that Chinchilla's music is performative. Autotune will not help someone that doesn't know how to sing, but it's a tool for someone who can sing. Exactly. But also like the rawness of someone's voice can be dope. I love it when there's voice breaks and voice cracks and natural fry that happens in someone's voice. All of those are interesting and fucking fun. So I wonder where this is going to go. But yeah, the Velvet Sundown is a strange one. Like, I don't want people to lose jobs or anything because of AI, and especially creatives. Creatives are very important. But one of the problems is creatives have been the sole, like, domain of creative outlets. I wonder what's going to happen when some level of corporatization comes in, and if we're going to see, like, a big split between styles of music and people's, like, because soon you'll be able to tailor craft any music you want. And then you could build music solely for your own listening experience, and that could be interesting within itself. And then like music then at that point can just become like a performative self-reflection thing that could be like an extension of who you are versus listening to someone else's story. Now, what would that do for the music industry? It would fucking destroy it. So I don't know 100% what the right direction is. But I don't know if immediately kicking these things. But also, I'm not one of these people that are super creative. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not someone that has the capabilities of actual pure, stylized guitarist and stuff that can fucking lick the tastiest fucking licks. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy, and my vocal capabilities are severely limited. So maybe for me, it's less of a threat, and for other people that do this for a full-time living, it isn't. And they have a self-interest to defend their way of life. I don't know, man. I'm not one of the people that stands on the hill of AI intrinsically bad or autotune's intrinsically bad. I feel like they're just all tools. However, the easier we make something, the less original it's going to be, because more and more people can then involve themselves in the process.
Said, can you believe this? This is supposedly an AI-generated band. Velvet Sundown tops 370,000 Spotify listeners. It's actually way beyond that now.
Or last week when you saw that killer group of vocalists in their kitchen delivering the most harmonious heavenly blend, faked in lots of different ways.
1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back.
I, of course, enjoy a raw a lot more than doctored vocals. I'm talking about the use of it mixing and mastering. Yeah.
Climbing over mountains and sailing overseas. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me.
They always wanna come, but they never wanna leave my exes.
As As vocalists, and even just as consumers and enjoyers of music, we have got to...
AI increases the accessibility for things. You can make shit or you can make good stuff. Exactly, dude. And also, as someone who dabbles in AI art, bro, I'm talking, I have to make like 200 fucking photos before I find one that I even remotely like. You know what I mean? Like, prompts and fucking plugins and all, because I use Comfy UI, and like, dude, just getting a fucking picture of a guy with a beard and his eyes not being in 20 goddamn locations is like pulling fucking teeth. At some point, sometimes I think it would be easier to draw it manually. It would just look worse. Holy fuck.
to start looking for different things to connect with when it comes to genuinely great singing. Otherwise, the robots are going to kill us off. Both vocalists and just people who enjoy music. This problem of varying degrees of...
let me see here, because I use quite a few. I haven't opened up Comfy UI in a while. Desktop, AI workspace, Comfy UI. I don't remember which model we use. I get all my stuff from Cativia. SD sucks. Oh yeah, I don't use... I think I use, I can't remember what it's called now. I'll let this do its thing.
Fake singing is making it not only difficult to learn how to sing well if you're interested.
Let's see here. So I usually use illustrations. Cotton Noob, gray color. Plant milk, you know, and then I use a few like laurels, but other than that, I really don't. Dude, I'm so bad with AI, bro. I just be like, dude, like you saw how like limited actually. Hold on, let me just pull this up. Just look at like how my setup is, dude. There's like nothing. I have an upscaler here, and then just a regular photo thing here. And then like it's not bleeding through like 20 different systems. It's only bleeding through like 2. So no, I don't know. Like people can make like beautiful artwork with these things. I can't. Like, dude, I'm telling you, it takes hundreds of them. And then I think I only use about 40 steps in my process. I use gradient hair, eyes, and then like I'll switch between laurels here. Angel body, like all these ones, there's just so many that you can do. And like the main one I typically use is like what's it called? Add micro details. And then you know, middle-aged man, beard, mutton chops. Yeah. Trying to make men in fucking AI is like the hardest thing on earth. Like you try to make a chick, dude, it's gonna look good right off the rip. But if you try to make fucking dudes, because no one uses AI to make men, because no one gives a fuck about looking at men. So like when I'm trying to make a character from like Ill of Men, and I want to put like a piece of art to him so like people can have an idea of what I'm kind of working with, I'll use descriptors from the book that I'm writing, and then feed it into AI, and then try to make things like, you know, so to show off what I'm kind of at least going for. Because I have a dedicated AI rig. A 3090 100 better than my normal usage PC. Jesus. I have a 3070 Ti or 3060 Ti or something like that. One of those. However, my RAM is very, very limited. I can't. That's because of boobs. Exactly, dude. Like, dude, here I'll just run one while this is going on, and we'll see. We'll see how bad his eyes look while we're doing this.
Interested in doing those sorts of things, but it's warping our view of what good singing is to begin with. And we've done it to ourselves over time. It's easy to just point the finger at technology, but it's how things are being used and accepted. And it's the deceit behind this coming back to bite people.
Yeah, we should at least be honest when we're using AI stuff. Like, people should never like pretend like if they're using AI or like things that like help like, or what is it, auto tunes, or like like vocal tracks, or samples. Boobs are nice no matter what. Exactly, dude. Whoa, that breeze feels dope. 360s are good as some have 12 gigabytes, 60 often considered better than the 3070. The serial only has 8. They're faster but lack VRAM. Sucks. See, like, look, dude, I'm not the best PC guy, dude. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I bought a pre-built when I was buying this. I bought it off of Amazon. It cost me like $3,000, and I did it like on credit. Because once I tried to upgrade, I had my old computer, and I tried to upgrade it, and bro, I started breaking stuff. I have like, dude, my hands are not steady enough, dude. They're not even steady enough to work on cars, pretty much. So like the whole like trying to replace the motherboard, I couldn't do it. I was fucked. I got fucked up. And then of course, I actually got it to run, but I forgot about thermal paste. So I was like, fuck it, I'm buying one, dude. I'm not doing this. I don't have the capability, dude. I'll just buy it on fucking like layaway, and it took me like 4 months. Like $200, you know. But I will admit, those that build it themselves, they are gifted souls.
People, because we aren't really even sure what's good or not anymore. Intermittent cracks, little tiny pitch discrepancies, the wallowing sound, the pain sound. This is AI Chester. I didn't quite reach that note. Now, if you listen to this even a few times, you begin to hear things that, if you didn't know it was AI, and if you were living under a rock and didn't know who Chester was.
Like, look at how fucking ridiculous. This is even with something to make the AIs better. Bro, they can't make men to save lives, bro. What is with this face? Why? What's wrong with you? What the fuck? I don't know, bro. AI, I'm telling you, dude. AI is not... Linkin Park doesn't seem to be AI generated. It seems they ran a normal video through Stable Diffusion. So this guy may just not understand AI enough to comment, maybe? I don't know.
You can still hear, like, some of these notes are just ding. However, there are real performed vocalists that ratchet their voice down with autotune in certain ways, and so you'd get that same effect. So it's really, really difficult. And this tugs at my heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, big
this AI bot has a bit more propensity to do things like Emily Armstrong, even though there's tonality similarities with Chester Bennington. And so it still sounds off to someone who's really in to Chester Bennington.
But see, one of the problems that we're going to have is that most people that listen to music don't listen to music to the way that a producer like this gentleman does. And I'm sorry, dude. I would hate to have this guy's sensibility when it came to music. Like, the idea that, this guy's... How do I say this in a way that isn't fucking cringe? You know what I mean? This guy hears music on such a level that I feel like a majority, if not like 90% of music is disgusting to him. And I just don't know if I would want to hear that. I don't want to hear every minor imperfection in a singing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear every like minor imperfection that may not even totally affect the tonality of a song. If you're someone who's like a sound engineer that knows these things, If the music sounds good and people like it, who gives a fuck? Exactly, dude. Now, I'm not saying that we should replace artists or anything like that, and then we should find ways that we should have to forcefully label things as AI. Or, I think that's okay. I think transparency while we're working on these things should be done. But if someone wants to get down to a lo-fi song that was AI generated, who gives a fuck? They're using it to study. They're using it to decompress from a shitty day. Like, to me, AI music is no different than things like Taylor Swift. Even though she's like an original artist, she sings very beautifully. I apologize. Have yourself a good time, Matt, when you roll out, buddy. We should get to the part, we should probably end this one so at least Matt can see it. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't have to come back and watch it later when I upload it. But like, we already have a wealth of music, for sure. But like AI images for your book, it makes things more accessible. Yeah. Tell Pixie hi when they show up. Exactly. I got you, Matt. I got you. And if I forget, someone in the comments hopefully will remind me. But I got you, homie. What was I about to say? Oh, but like, we already have a bunch of shitty music out there that's already just not for a majority of people. Like, I'm gonna treat AI music the same way I treat the next Taylor Swift single. That's not to say Taylor Swift is a bad artist, but her music just feels like the same level of cheapness to me that AI music might feel like. Doesn't matter that it's naturally made. It just isn't emotionally resonant with me as a person. Like, I mean, I don't know how many men have broken my heart, but I don't think I'm gonna go key a boyfriend's car. I don't know. And revenge isn't really on my docket. When people have harmed me, I go, well, what the fuck did I do wrong? It's the way it works, dude. I look internal when things go wrong in my life instead of external. Excuse me, sorry about that.
But just the fact that it sounds so close to him in certain parts makes me go, oh, I miss Chester. Like, it is connecting with me emotionally, but it's not just because it's a robot imitating someone. It's because of the person who was Chester. That's what I long for. That's what I long to connect with.
I got what you're saying, but like, if Chester's dead and he can't make music anymore and you want to hear more of him, it's like, have you ever listened to like a recording that someone sent you after they have died? It's crazy. You know what I mean? And some people used to say probably back in the day that the recording itself would be akin to AI. Every time we hit another technological bump, we say things like, oh, well, this is going to ruin the way that it is. And it typically just transforms it. Now, sometimes things go under, like books. Like, people don't read. No, they just watch videos. Bookstores are, suffering a great deal. Libraries are being shut down. Libraries are being shut down in mass. Malls are going under because of Amazon. Like, these things have tangible consequences. But most of the industries are already thriving. Like, the music labels have lost so much power because of things like Spotify. And even though Spotify, they're all afraid of newer stuff, but it's just made things more accessible. Exactly. And Spotify was supposed to be the great equalizer to where now people would be able to, like, you wouldn't have to go spend $15 on an album and take a chance. Now you can just click over and listen to a song. Independent artists were supposed to get the massive hikes in plays because no longer did people have to rake over massive amount of sums of money to listen to their music. And it didn't happen because people aren't wired that way. People are going to be wired to like what other people are listening to. They want to exist in the cultural zeitgeist and have conversations with people around them at work. The majority of people got into Game of Thrones not because it was a good show, despite it being a great show, some of the best dialogue and writing anyone's ever seen up until like season 4. But people got into it because people were talking about it at work. The same thing happens with shows like Stranger Things, even to some extent shows like Arcane. When there's hype and buzz around something, it draws an attention. Unfortunately, life is a popularity contest. Every YouTuber knows this better than anybody. Especially when one YouTuber is mad at another and it becomes a fucking like a pissing match between them. Typically the size with the bigger audience is going to win. We kind of follow along whatever is going on,
And it's reminding me that I can't. That's the only reason that this is having an impact on me at all because it's reminding me of something real. In this part, as if Chester's saying it sort of the way that Emily sings it. The logical end, and we can already see it happening in this very AI, we continue to create better and better tools to feed our need for nostalgia by pointing back to things that were, in fact, real.
Yeah, but don't we do that all the time just through musical aspirations? Have you looked at the AI videos of people having even making of Charlie Kirk making speeches and singing since his death? I have not. I was the one who sat with him at the night when he was up and confused. Sometimes it was a sweet because he usually talking about having to go to work in the morning. Nikki. That's such a sweet moment, but like it's bittersweet, like heart-wrenching at the same time. Some of the moments that we share with people, they only live on in our minds. We really trust our minds. Some things change over time. Some things we exacerbate, like we build up more mythical, and some things we retract, and then that thing becomes different over time. But sometimes letting things relive, like through AI, can be okay. Like having that video of your father can be a beautiful thing that, on his birthday, maybe you go watch, or whenever you're feeling down or sad, you go watch it, I know that sometimes it could just be like a voicemail that your wife sends you on the way home from work, and maybe she got hit by a bus or something. And all the voicemail is they don't forget to pick up eggs. And even though it's like, has no emotional resonance as a statement, but like when you go and listen to it, a whole flood of information floods through your mind and refilling and like relighting up portions of your brain, and memories are firing and neurons are just igniting, and it unfolds every memory you've ever had of a loved one in 1 second. And if we can use AI to recreate things that we truly love that we lost, that's like the most beautiful thing that AI can be used for. And that's awesome. As long as it doesn't hit the uncanny valley. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus.
We're trying to remanufacture something to get the feelings that we had when we actually connected. But we have to ask ourselves, what is it that caused us to connect in the first place? It's being okay.
Well, that's a multifaceted question. You could say it could be his emotional music, his lyrical performance. It could be that some chick thought he was hot. It could be some dude thought he was hot. It could be because everyone else was already into it. It could be because we wanted to exist in like the cultural zeitgeist as it was happening in real time. I mean, I remember listening to Linkin Park when I was like an 8-year-old boy and shit, dude. Back then, I'd be like downloading like hentai pictures, and I would be drawing them, and then I'd hide them under my bed until one day my parents found them, and I got my ass beat and banned off the internet. It's a good time. I used to use floppy disks to take them to work or school work. Then I would like give them to people for free because I'm like, yo, dude, look out boobs. I was a porn peddler when I was in like middle school and at like end of elementary school, bro. Boobies were everything. I was a monster.
Okay with our own vulnerability and relating to someone else's vulnerability, realism, pain, stage of life. Yeah, done in a masterful way, but not done in a whitewashed, perfect way.
Oh shit, we got Ren up in this bitch. I actually haven't heard that song, right? No, yeah, I have. Wait, I don't recognize it. Anyway, I don't even know what song that is. He's onto something though. Things without human imperfections diminish. I put a montage I made after he passed on my YouTube channel, and it's mostly just pictures, but I used one clip of him telling me he was going to stand. That's awesome. Nikki, that's beautiful. Those are the moments that matter. Those are the moments that are like human, I think He's assuming the person creating the content doesn't have those emotions. Exactly, dude. Which is a bummer because, like, I know when the electric guitar came out, there was talks that we shouldn't use it because it diminishes the sound of the acoustic guitar. You're like, come on, bro. The electric guitar can do beautiful things. And then we got into MIDI tracks, and like we talked shit on DJs and producers and mixing, and at every possible turn, like autotune was the first, like last big debate. I'm not saying that AI is gonna, the future, but like human imperfections are a requirement in order for something to be, human. It's the reason why we resonate with characters that are written well that aren't perfect. The reason why writing can be bad is if a person has no flaws. One example of that is, look, this is going to be nerdy, and I apologize. There's a big debate against the dorks of the internet between Superman and Goku. And I'm a Goku fanboy. He was in the Navy, so standing watch was a job from way back in his... Whoa. I bet you he loved those days. You know what I mean? I'm a huge dork, right? And I'm a huge Goku fanboy. I would want Goku to win. But both of these characters are unique, different characters in different ways. Goku is a man built on testing limits and then breaking them, overcoming any adversity. Superman's story is not that. If you were to take in probably a character, I feel Superman sucks because in order for him to be interesting, he has to be stupid. Exactly. And like that's exactly right. So like Superman is like definitionally a perfect character. He's got strength that is essentially endless. He's super fast. Like one of the fastest people in X-ray vision. The only way Superman feels a challenge is by not thinking and stumbling into traps. Yeah, or some form of magic, because Superman's kind of a dummy. And then I guess when you're like impervious to all damage and you can flick a motherfucker to the sun, you wouldn't even need to use your brain. Bob Dylan was booed by his own fans for using electric guitars in a set for the first... Exactly. Some of the new stuff coming out, yes, maybe we need to like markers, things that use AI. This shit needs to be upfront and honest. Fuck yes. But like, let me just get back to the Superman thing real quick. So, Superman's entire story is he's a man without limits. And Goku is a man that is meant to break limits. What happens when you put two together? Well, it's like an apple and an orange, but a man without limits has nothing to break. And it's not like Goku's a smart motherfucker either. I honestly think Superman get his ass beat. Superman will win. I would want Goku to win, but it's not how it works. Superman is written as a character who is not intrinsically have any flaws other than his empathy. And his empathy gets him in more trouble than anything else. His willingness to give is usually used as a weapon or an attack vector against him. And he has to learn the harsh realities of what it means to be human. Superman isn't human because he doesn't have the flaws of humans, by and large. Now, obviously, eventually, more and more people wrote more and more stuff into Superman as years went on. But initially, the idea behind Superman was a perfect being or a god-esque character learning to survive in a world that he's not a part of, where he has to be worried about breaking everything with a single footstep or a hardcore enough sneeze to blow a house away. It's a different story. Yeah, I did not know there was an ERB of that. That would look a little ridiculous because Goku looks ridiculous as a person. That being said, Goku to me is a better story because he's got flaws. Now, if you compare him to the rest of the DBZ cast, he's essentially Superman, but that's not the point. The point is he's a character with flaws. Characters that are written with flaws are intrinsically more interesting, and we enjoy the human elements of that. It's why we like villains that have compelling backstories. It's why we love characters that have, story arcs, because they're doing a progression from one point to another, and to do that, they have to learn, they have to love, they have to lose. All of these things help inject humanity into the person, and that's very important. Meanwhile, any situation that you need Superman, he should be using X-ray super speed prior to coming to the scene. He should outspeed anyone trying magic. Exactly. Excuse me. And Superman's flaws for repeatedly falling for the same tricks do need some X-ray for pulling up the... Yeah, how does anyone bust out kryptonite on a guy with super speed? Like, hold on, bro. It's such a stupid plot device. But, again, Superman's major flaw is something that isn't attributed to him. It's fucking kryptonite. Goku's biggest flaw is, you know, his thirst for battle and his stupidity and his corrupted sense of honor. You know what I mean? And he lets Cell beat the fuck out of his own kid. How would you feel if I used AI to feed in all work you've done on Ill of Men so far? Got to write a nice finished marketplace trilogy in the vein and then sold it as a sickness of them. I mean, I wouldn't mind if someone... All I care about is the story of Ill of Man coming out. I'm not someone who does Ill of Man for money. You know what I mean? Like, if someone wanted to take Ill of Men and move it in a different direction through AI, more power to them. And if you market it and sold it, cool, man. Just be cool to see some of my characters come to life. You know? I'm not necessarily against it, you know? I've never had the idea of selling Ill of Men for any kind of money. AI pretty much sucks for long content. It breaks down when tasked to write books. Whoa. Oh, okay. Quit recording the video. But I'm still streaming. It says I'm streaming. Just quit recording. Damn, dude. Alright. Anyway, well, let's get back to it. Even with subtangents and subtasks. Yeah, I don't know if AI could write a full-blown book, you know? I mean, has it? Has it never done, like, a full-blown book? I know that, like, when I feed my chapters into AI and I ask it for criticisms, it's pretty mean. Yeah, but not for how many more months will that be true? Yeah. And I mean, if authors die out and then we all just write our own stories, I don't know if I'm necessarily against that. Hell, even for musicians, I don't know if I'm necessarily against that. It just depends on how it affects the marketplace. I don't know. Like the same thing with the reactors, you know, if AI can eventually put a chubby little fat fuck in front of you guys to say the same things I'm saying, and it does it better and can do it more consistently and then exactly do it to the videos you want it to watch without it costing you guys a pretty penny, you know, I don't know. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Tracy? All right, let's see what Chris has got to say about this.
Yeah, done in a masterful way, but not done in a whitewashed, perfect way.
I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. The distance is my plaster cast. The truth is to the day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find that angle. All I find is missing you, man. I miss you. With all my rhymes, I picture running 5 minutes quicker, I'm right on time. I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying and holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine. Not the way that it worked, cause I was late like a jerk. There's not a day where I could find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hearse. I hope you're listening, I love you, man, I miss you absurd. Fuck.
Honest, spontaneous writing, performing, singing, speaking.
AI will disrupt creative industries, though. Hi, AI to me is no different to a person looking at lots of inspiration and then creating new content. We all generate content based on what we have experienced and learned from. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I'm not saying AI is not going to have its pain points. No, I'm pretty sure he's saying that, like, the song itself is the powerful thing. I don't think he's using, hold on, let's go back. I don't think he's about to bash Ren. I don't think he's about to do that. I think he's saying Ren is the counterculture to what he's talking about. I think he's talking more along the facts that, like, how are we gonna have? There's technically only 5 or so original stories. Everything else is a repeat. That I believe, yeah. Like hell, man. Did you guys like? So I just saw the Count of Monte Cristo with my girlfriend on, I think it was Saturday night. And then like all I thought about the entire time I was watching it was The Punisher, the movie. You know, because like that's true. Like that's the same motherfucking movie, except instead of getting everything in the end, motherfucker lost it all. Like it's the same shit, dude. But I think he's saying that Ren is the example here. This is an video Ren shot. You can identify where he is in Calgary. He filmed this as AI hasn't changed that much. Exactly. I think that he's saying here. Yeah. I think he's saying here that this is the type of music we might lose if we go full send into AI. Because AI doesn't know what it's like to lose a loved one. It doesn't know what it's like to see someone die or have like the idea of what it means to be alive. I don't think, at least not yet. Maybe. I don't understand how advanced AI is yet. But I do know that if we were to lose something like I know this is for Joe, but this might be like a different one because I don't recognize the video very well. I feel like that might be a price that might be too heavy. I don't know. But as long as there are artists that are willing to make the real stuff, I feel eventually a majority of people, I could be wrong, maybe this is delusional, will go towards the more emotional music. Like, there's a reason why Ren blows up today and so many people love his music, react to his music, enjoy his music. It's because they resonate not necessarily with the technical performance that he puts out, despite those being pretty damn flawless, but because of that emotional resonance that we can pick up on, and then how so many can attribute to that their own life. Not necessarily just looking at Ren's life, but how it can impact them and how it makes them feel and how it can remind them of love loss or losses that may not have come yet, but like the fear of what might be on the horizon. I feel like a lot of those moments in music are like incredibly important. And I think that even if we have AI build things up, and though it might sound good, I don't think people are going to go to AI over music like Ren's, because I could be wrong here. I don't think AI has the capability to truly understand human empathy. Hey, Pixie, Matt was in here. Matt C. Let me see if I can get his last name for you. And he said to say hi. Matt Kavanaugh, he said say hi to Pixie when she joins in. The movie with blue people that everyone went nuts for a while back is nothing but Pocahontas story with a budget. Yeah, I think that humans intrinsically follow emotional music because of how it speaks to the soul. AI could create music that hits those things. The problem is we don't know what our consciousness means. Only I think, therefore I am, and assume that others think the same as we do. Exactly. That's true, too. I always say that we're not 100% in control of who we are as people, that we are merely like a vessel, and we might be steering the ship, but like sometimes the water is rocky, and no matter how straight you try to keep the wheel, it's gonna take control to some degree. Yeah, an avatar. We might be simply just an avatar. If AI behaves in the same way as other people, how can we tell it apart? I'm not saying that it's good or bad, but it will be disruptive, yes. Understanding is a complicated thing, as LLMs are predictive engines, but they need to build model, yeah, and they're trying to predict. We don't even know how we feel. Exactly. And also, when you actually dig into like AI models, like LLMs, like he's talking about, they're not actually like really thinking. They're just compiling a massive set of information. So maybe the more emotional stuff we put out there, the more they can imitate. But I don't think they're actually thinking. I think they're just picking from like a string of data to like put out there that is matching the parameters that you're telling it to do. Which is why some people use things like ChatGPT. Like you're seeing a rise of ChatGPT boyfriends, because the majority of younger women or women in their middle age are having a hard time finding connection with men because men are becoming more insular and less involved with the opposite sex, and we don't have the same level of capacity that maybe an AI thing does. Thank you, Carla. My stupid brain just went blank. But like, we don't have the same capacity that AI might be able to offer. We're seeing a lot of people adopt AI boyfriends. The problem is we don't even know if humans aren't just predictive. Exactly, that's very true too. Like, we could be predictive engines based off of stimulants and emotional resonance, and like something could like impact. Like, we see people like lose their shit when they're just hungry. You know what I mean? But we don't know that what thinking means, or what where is built on neurons, but we could be built on LMs and still be conscious. We don't know exactly. And that's a scary concept. We could be imitating our own brains, because there's a reason why people fall into predictive models. Like, even like, just, you can use politics as any example. Like, we fall into these paradigms based off of like stimulants from like outside sources. Like, someone comes out and makes a story, and then like it'll fire neurons in your brain and give you a predictive fucking outcome. And then as soon as you go against that, you hit your cognitive biases, and then you start fucking firing in like different directions, and you can even shut down and stop receiving information altogether. Like, who knows, man? This is very complicated and messy shit. We need to tread carefully, but I don't think that means we cut it off, because unfortunately, and if we stop it in America, someone in another country is going to continue this shit, or in another country. And then like eventually our hands won't be on the steering wheel when it comes out, or we will be ill-equipped to handle these things. We might already be ill-equipped. I don't know. Okay, I'm groggy pixie at the moment. I can't be thinking all right now, so don't mind me. We actually are getting LMs closer to brain structure, those mixtures of experts. LMs are segmented into different experts depending on what we need. Basic, very primitive version akin to us. Give it like 10 years. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see what he has to say about Ren. I kind of been running my mouth a bit too much.
All I find is missing you, man, I miss you. With all my rhymes, I picture running 5 minutes quicker, I'm right on time. I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying, and holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine. Not the way that it works, cause I was late like a jerk. There's not a day where I could find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hearse. I hope you're listening, I love you, man, I miss you absurd. Fuck.
Here's a question. If you were to ask AI to write this song, would it write it in the same vein, or would it change things to be... Chris Liepe is a vocal instructionist. He does videos on how to teach people how to sing. Exactly reminds me of Book Dice. He's a vocal teacher. He teaches you how to use like vocal fry and a bunch of other stuff. He's actually a pretty cool dude. It's a bummer that he's as small as he is. I know that he offers courses and stuff that you can pay for. But I wonder if you were to feed this song as it is into AI and tell it to make it palatable, I wonder how much of it would remove. I know it would take out the word fuck. I know it's going to do that, because anytime I try and tell AI, like I'll go to feed one of my chapters of Element into like ChatGPT, and then I'll ask it, hey man, how would George, like, what the fuck is his name? The guy from fucking... Not Tolkien. Fuck, dude. Why can't I remember his goddamn name? How it depends on the prompting and LM, exactly. Well, I'm pretty sure that, like... So, okay, let's just try this out. Let's just try this out real quick before we get into, like, the breakdown. Let me just go grab a chapter of Element, wherever the fuck I have it. Element current, okay. Let's just test this. Okay. Could you rewrite this chapter in a different style, please. Doot. Control V. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but in this chapter, I had a lot of bad words. Lips curve through yellow and sword, I can't escape. Blah, 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 blah. Now it just sounds like a love book. Yeah, it took out like all of the bad words. There's like I was using like broken English stuff, and yeah, it's none of it's in here. Like, I don't see a single fuck. I don't see a single oi. I don't see a single, like, none of the language that I used in the book was completely taken out because it wasn't grammatically appropriate. Yeah, I might learn some stuff, including ad libs. It could definitely do whatever. The censorship is a choice. A custom AI doesn't have to censor. I run LLMs offline. Self-write LLMs will be fine with cursing. He's a vocal coach and reactor, Pixie. He did an interview with Ren, and Ren said he watched his channel a lot and learned singing techniques from his channel. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, so now we know what he's gonna say. Commercial products are censored. I'm just saying, like, some of the more, how do I say this? Very interesting, very cool. I probably watched that interview, just don't remember. If I tell him to be crude and use broken English grammar, it can probably do it. Well, no, I'm just saying, yeah, no, 100% based off the input. But a majority of people, let's say, for example, you want to commercialize the output that you're putting out, you're going to tell it to, like, fit the perfect algorithms for, like, YouTube and stuff like that, because that's where you're going to get a majority of your views, or on Spotify, because then you can get more ads on your content. So, like, if we go to a corporatized version of things, it's going to do things to sanitize it. So as long as we have more aggressive, more dynamic things coming out from artists, we'll always probably have some way of, like, telling, because an artist, a person is willing to destroy their potential income for their message. I don't know if AI is going to do that, or I don't know if someone who's participating in financial gain is going to do that. Unless maybe there's like a huge market for it, and that might happen with the growth of AI coming out. I'll be back soon. Mom just got a visitor, so I'm needed. Cosmic Space, Pride Fox. I see what you did there. All right, let's see what you got to say about Red. I'm having an LLM describe and ingest that song for a minute, and I can have it rewrite it as a challenge. Bro, let's see what it puts out, man. Hey, I will happily eat all the crow in the world if it actually comes out with try naming your audience, try saying who you want to market it to. Yeah, it's very possible. But I think the rawness, maybe it could imitate rawness. Who knows? I could look. I'm not gonna stand and die on this hill, homie. I'm just saying. I feel like the more rancid approach of stuff that's not commercial, because like anytime I've written a chapter of Element and I feed it through, it'll be like, in order to get more viability, you should remove the curse words, and you should break up the flow that you're going with. Here, I'll just like I'm taking way too long on this stuff. So someone put one of my chapters. Oh, hey, holy shit! I have 2 notifications. Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Oh yeah, I could totally go jump and send you money. But like, okay, so like, if I read one of these, if I tell it to read one of these chapters, these color stories, one, I've run these chapters through like an AI thing that detects AI stuff, and it says that this is 100% AI generated, and it's like, I used AI to like help me structure sentences, which I openly admit I do that. But like, it tells me not to do these things. Like, hold on, let's just do this. Elsinore unfurls like a fevered tapestry, its borders lashed by the Everrun sea's frothing jaws and bound by the elder Limbar woods. Emerald gnarled coils. Like, so AI does not like this sentence. It'll be like, yo, that's a run-on sentence. Try breaking this up, making them into smaller sentences. It does not like the structure of this at all. But then when I feed this through like an AI like reader to verify it's like human made, it'll say AI made this. So you're literally at a loss. Like, what do you do? Now, I mean, I do feed every chapter through AI, and I ask it to like help me like, you know, put commas and stuff because I have the brains of a 5-year-old. But like these run-on sentences, AI fucking hates. But then it'd also say these things are AI. You're like, what the fuck, dude? I don't know. Anyway, enough about my bullshit. Let's get back into this.
Honest, spontaneous writing, performing, singing, speaking, to connect.
Did Ren make that song to connect with other people, or did he make that song to like connect to himself? I think a majority of really good art is created because we make it to connect with ourselves. The reason why I started writing Ill of Men wasn't because I wanted an audience to read it, though that's awesome. It was because I wanted to deal with my own my own criticisms of varying different degrees of the political sphere. Like Tis is the embodiment of greed. She is the goddess of lust and greed. You know, and I wanted to be able to put capitalism on a screen and critique it in real time and then call it a villain without calling capitalism a villain. And then I did the same thing with Sylvia, the goddess of the South, which believes in communism. And like I wanted to put that on the screen and I wanted to critique these things. And then each character identifies like a different aspect of my life that I wanted to put under a microscope and look at. I didn't make these things to be like commercially viable. I made them to like kind of judge myself. The character Rutia is a combination of 3 ex-girlfriends and my hopes, dreams, and aspirations of being a professional gamer, a professional YouTuber, all of these things, and like my adherence to things like Bushido and all the moments that I let myself down. So like all of those negative elements were pushed into this character, and then I had to find a way to make her likable. So then I had to find ways to make her beautiful in her own way so that she wasn't just an abstract of myself. So then I had to find ways to build her up in different ways. Ilium is, again, just a personification of my own rage and aggression, and also the compassion that I've often put at the forefront of who I am as a person. These characters are personal to me and not designed for anyone else. So when people don't like one of the characters, it's almost in some small way they don't like an aspect of who I am. Now, obviously, as a writer, you got to build them up bigger than their initial design, or else that's just poor writing. You can't just have a one-dimensional character. You have to build them into their own entity, and maybe those other surrounding feelings are what people don't like. Who knows? And I totally agree. Rate is something that has to crawl and smash its way out of an artist. It has to come out. Exactly, dude. Like, it has to. I feel like Rin didn't make this song for us in any way. I don't even think a single thought of us. I did stop at an awkward. Chris, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't think that Ren even thought of a single fucking person other than his parents, Joe and Joe's parents, and his personal friends when he wrote the song for Joe, Suicide and then Freckled Angels. I think that for him, this was his catharsis of dealing with the trauma, and it just happened to be this like powerful, dynamic thing that like the whole world, if listened to, might be able to find something to relate to. I think that's, to me, how you make something beautiful. Again, it can follow under the same lens of you can't love another person until you love yourself. Like, the idea is Ren is doing some form of self-love here, despite how powerful and dark and deep and scary it is, and then it releases in a combustible way that like we can all enjoy the glow from afar. Like, it's a beautiful fire blazing, and we're like, hey man, what a beautiful fire this is, despite how fucking dark it might get. You know, despite how many stars are in the sky, you know, this fire right here is captivating. Oh my god, and my mouse died. Jesus Christ, Will! The last part of this track he wrote and performed after the interview Ren did with Knox. Oh, okay. Jesus, come on. My headset's about to die, my mouse is about to die. Jesus, and I only have one wire. Let's get into it.
To let it out, to express. If we vocalists, if we music lovers are going...
The conversation he had with Knox made Ren realize he had something he had to say to finish the track. Exactly, dude. And also, it's through communicating with others and sharing that trauma that we find ways that we can heal through it. Like the conversation with Knox. I haven't watched it, but that's a beautiful sentiment.
Going to remain on this earth.
I don't know if it's going to be that hyperbolic, buddy. I think that musicians will evolve as they always have. And the sonic sounds that we've grown to love are going to dramatically change over time.
We must make this shift. What do we have to say instead of what do we have to prove? The robots can already do it all, and they can help us fake anything we want to fake to look as good as we want to look.
True. And in an age of perfection, the flaws are what draw people in.
And you know what? It's lying, and it ultimately will not have the staying power that genuine artistic expressions that reach into our hearts and go, I'm right there with you.
Bullshit! Who are the biggest artists in the world right now? They're not the people that are having genuine artistic expressions. Taylor Swift has more political power than the goddamn president of the United States most of the time. No. I wouldn't say that Taylor Swift is deep, impactful, artistic, beautiful things. I think a majority of her songs are written by like a handful of people. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm throwing way too much shade at Taylor Swift, but a majority of the things that exist because they are digestible and they don't require you to think. They aren't genuine. They aren't these things. We already live in an age of AI. It's just maybe not AI. We already live in a world where we drone on after a work day where we just turn on rancid bullshit. We saw that with things like fucking, what is that? Reality TV. Reality TV took over the fucking sphere, man. And now we're seeing it in another form expand here on YouTube with reaction content. Reaction content is just a less dramatized version, hopefully, as reality TV. But a majority of people are watching people on live, real time, reacting to things they love. And is that not more a form of reality TV than reality TV was? Like, you have a direct link to an audience. You have a direct link to a creator. You can watch their entire story unfold in ways that mirrors that of reality TV. The genuine artist thing is dead. It took people like Ren to come along to get people to get back into art. It takes artists, like, okay, let's just do this. Okay, let's go to YouTube, all right? Let's just see here. The AI video style was a choice. You still need to feed source and the style to train on, still have the moments of decision, understanding the output is right. The moment of decision is concept. I learned about is key what makes something art. So let's go look at Taylor Swift. Her YouTube has 61 million subscribers. Beyonce has 28 million subscribers. Justin Bieber has 76 million subscribers. I remember when you first sent me. I'm glad you came around. Did I listen to Ren then? I don't remember. Like, did you send me like a track? What did I listen to? Okay, but then let's go look at Ren. 2.38 million subscribers. Like, no matter how big Ren is, You can't say that like genuine artists are taking over the industry. Like maybe he will eventually, but like Ren is so small in contrast. He only makes up like 3% of the total pool. You know what I mean? Okay, let's Skinner Brothers. I like to look at it back. Oh, okay. Skinner Brothers, they're super small, right? They're independent, genuine artists and stuff like that. They have 14,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? Like genuine artists aren't blowing the fuck up, man. It's already the pop official bullshit that comes out that I'm sorry, Chris, it's just not there. Oh, okay. What's up, Carlos? When did you send me a Ren video? Which Ren did you tell me to check out, homie? The 7th grade. Yeah, his Ren's impact is going to be gigantic. I just don't think this guy's statement here is 100% true. Like, genuine artistic expression is not the thing that a majority of people care about, as much as I would like them to. Yeah, hit me up. What'd I say, Eskimo? Hey, by the way, maybe I should react to some of your music, homie. You still out there making it, right? Shit.
Lying, and it ultimately will not have the staying power that genuine artistic expressions that reach into our hearts and go, I'm right there with you.
I just don't believe that, dude. I want to believe that. But evidence suggests otherwise, dude. Like Spotify. I listen to, dude, Sublime with Rome is so awesome. But it wasn't sublime. Leaves quietly, let's play League. Were you playing League now, homie? Leaves. Don't tell me my videos eventually turned you over to League, because then I did my job. All right, let's see what Chris has got to say here.
If you would like help learning to connect with your voice as genuine expression of who you are and get really genuinely good in the process, click the link below in the pinned comment or video description. And
oh, Eric, what's up, dude? Fuck. When did you show me Ren, dude? I should also watch. I know you'd be playing around with that guitar very good, dude.
Join my free course. I will help you discover things in your voice you never thought possible and ways of communicating with it that you never knew were there. To check out my breakdown of that masterful Ren song, try this video.
Okay. I mean, I still put down what Chris is putting out. Like, at the end of the day, we do need to push for more creative outlets to do things. But it's rough because I just don't know if the evidence is there to suggest that those artists are going to be the ones that like make it behind. You know what I mean? I just don't think that they're going to. I don't know. He literally is just doing that as a pitch for things. I know it's kind of like defeats the purpose, right? Like he's saying, but I mean, it was a free course, so it might be like OnlyFans free, right? Like you can come click the page, but if you want to click any of the things, it's going to cost you money. If you really, yeah, I agree, and there is some criticism to throw at our boy Chris there. But again, I know he has to promote himself, but the pivot into promoting to singing coaching always grates me. Yeah, that one's a little rough. I ain't gonna lie. And it's so like, I mean, I do self-promotion all the time. Like, hey man, if you want, I haven't really been pushing the Illa stuff very much. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, today was probably the most I've talked about it in like a month. You know, I try my hardest not to come out here and push my book. I just put it in the description and say, hey, if you guys want to read it, please by all means check it out.